Hey all. So was recently griping about the dropped line calls. Sometimes when you call field office and you're waiting on hold for 20 minutes, and then when you finally think you're getting somebody who gets disconnected, or after 20 minutes without getting with somebody who gets disconnected. Okay, that's not fun. That in that video, we were also just talking about the short hours that I don't know if it's universal. It might not be, but probably not. But some are closing as early as 3 in the afternoon. And on some days as early as 12 noon. So limited phone call answering then, and visit taking, physical in-persons. So I wanted to find out a little bit about, there was another person who had indicated that when they went to a field office that apparently wasn't their own, they got a little bit of a rejection by the staff at the field office saying that this was the wrong field office and you must use a different one. And I'm not sure if that was a phone call or an in-person, so I should take that back. But in any event, that staffer was wrong. This is a federal agency, and you don't have to go to a particular Social Security field office if you have to go there in person or if you have to call. I am trying to find where they say that, but I'm having trouble. But it's a federal program, so it's like anything else. Those are field offices. They cover the whole country. For someone to tell you you have to go to the one that is matched up with your address is false. If anyone has something to the contrary with citations, legal citations, bring them on. Okay. And the reason why I'm going to say it's false is because people move. And, or more importantly, they go away and go someplace else for 5 months. It could be vacation. It could be a different residence, but your official residence is one place. So if I go and, take a trip to California for 4 months and I have a Social Security need and I need to go in person, I'm going to go to wherever it is in California that I am closest to at that moment. And because it's national, it's not California state, guys. The states do not run these things. It is national, federal. I have the right to be cared for as much as anyone else that walks in that door. Now, that's not to say I can require that person to be the person who controls my claim. No, you have your own little caseworker, and it's probably, I'm in Pennsylvania, it would probably be in Pennsylvania, but I can't even say that for sure because we have support offices that handle things when one particular office is overloaded. So your entire matter, if you have one, could be held, being held by or taken care of by someone 1,000 miles away. I think I've noted before that I wasn't taking the Connecticut case. This is several years ago. And that was back when it was, everything I did almost was in person. I was just starting to get on my video distancing stuff that I did long before COVID. I don't even know if anyone else was doing it, but my regional office was very helpful to me. And so when COVID turned virtual hearings, it was very smooth for me. Even smoother because I didn't have to drive to my own regional to have a hearing down in Florida. I can now do it from my home office. Okay. So the Connecticut case had a judge sitting in Puerto Rico on a video screen. So clearly the Connecticut person did not have a Connecticut judge sitting at the Connecticut regional, wherever it was, New Haven or wherever. So it is a very transient. I don't even know if that's the right word. It's one big national thing. So there could be help from over here, over here, over here, down here, up here, even in a territory. Okay. So I was tooling around. As you might also know, a lot of the field offices took down their phone numbers so you can't find them with ease or call them directly. Now, I do believe you can call the 1-800 number and sit for a half hour and finally ask them for that information. You want the local number for the East Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania field office, for instance. And I'm not saying East Stroudsburg doesn't publish theirs. I don't even know because that happens to be mine and I already have the number, so I don't look for it. If you get, if you get the number to your office from the 800 number, I suggest you write it down and keep it because it might be a long time before many of these offices start to be transparent about the phone numbers. All right. And you don't want to keep calling the 800 number. It's a real pain. Okay. So I was looking for, going back to it, Does the SSA overtly tell people not to come in or it's not preferred or anything? Well, here is what I found. I had two things actually. I'm going to put them up there. One was a preference. In fact, let me see if I can bring it up. They say even with a little exclamation mark that it is preferred that you come in, but you don't have to. You can do things online. Well, let's face it. We all know that they'd like you to do it online. Whatever can be done online, they want you to do it online. Obviously, who's doing the data entry? You, not the hired help. So let's just be transparent about it. You know, we prefer you do everything online instead of that little funny little clip that I saw, and I'm going to share it to you. I'll put it down in the comments. Because then in other places, it says, something completely different. And I'm going to put them both up here, but I'm flipping between the two and I'm like, where's the verbiage? Okay, so I will share those. There seems to be some inconsistencies. I think the obvious truth is likely that, yes, please do everything online that you can. And I don't blame them for that. Just be transparent and also be very clear for the many people that can't do things online, that they are welcome at the office and they can go to any office that is near them. I mean, I have people who live in Jersey, have a Pennsylvania field office. It's probably the closest one to them. However, if they happen to work a little more east in Jersey and they pass by Parsippany 5 days a week, they might, or work in Parsippany, they might want to stop at Parsippany on their hour off instead of going home and then having to go to Easton, Pennsylvania, to their field office to get assistance. So the fact is for sure that you can go to any field office you want. If you get flack from an employee, I would get the employee's name and maybe try to speak to a manager, but you might not get any luck with that. Manager could be busy. I think sometimes they'll say, whether they're busy or not, you're going to hear that they are, and they probably are, but you can use any office you want. And I would definitely get the name of someone who deceives you about that and makes you leave and then waste another one of your days or several hours of a day. I don't care what you're doing. Your time is as valuable to you as their time is to them. It's your life, right? Okay. I will get those links, guys, just to show the inconsistencies. And if I do stumble across any kind of, I see innuendo about if you go to a local office, well, that's a local office. So they're not saying only if you go to your local office. So those kind of things, even though they're not the legal citation I would prefer, are implying the same thing. But in any event, it is your right to go to whatever office is closest to you at the moment that you feel like going. There you go. Now, the fact that, here's another thing, the fact that some offices are closed and not open to appointments and or close at a certain time of day and you need something that day, that's another reason to know that you can go to a different office that has later hours. I mean, it's just, it makes no sense, this ruse that probably a small handful of people that work in the system put out there for whatever reason. Inappropriate. Okay, bye guys.